Ashes of the Singularity is one of those games that reminds us what the word strategy is supposed to mean. Its grand scope, healthy disdain for micromanagement, and strong emphasis on high-level thinking are refreshing. While it doesn't quite pack the punch of forebearers like Supreme Commander Forged Alliance, it does hit the mark in several of the same places. The disappointingly short and straightforward single-player campaign is a poor ambassador. We're introduced to a flat and flavorless future where the cyborg post-human coalition send robot armies across space to battle a mysterious, aggressive AI called the Substrate. Most of the 11 missions feel like little more than an extended tutorial for the much more interesting multiplayer mode. And this is where Ashes of the Singularity shines. The AI is a respectable skirmish foe, but human opponents elevate these sprawling conflicts to elaborate mind games where actions per minute are trumped by thinking 3 steps ahead. The two races don't play significantly differently. Substrate have rechargeable shields and a bit more mobility, while post-humans get tougher hulls and more self-sufficient basic units. But given the high-level strategic focus, you'll always be emphasizing which tools to bring over who has the better toolbox. Thinking back over a match, I often realized that one side or the other had already clinched victory long before the last base fell. You have to think on a large scale because unit counts in large battles easily soar into the hundreds of units. There are squads of small frontline tanks, mid-sized cruisers with versatile roles, and massive dreadnoughts with the ability to level up and hold their own against hordes of lesser vehicles. The creative and distinctive unit designs are fun to look at and allow you to easily assess the composition of an army at a glance. Especially dreadnoughts, which become distinctive characters as they level up, with each hull speaking to the theme and capabilities of the hulking capital ship. The engine handles it all incredibly well, with no notable slowdown on my Core i7, GeForce GTX 770, and Windows 10, even in an epic battle like this. A flexible and responsive zooming camera made me feel like I was managing an entire theater with multiple full-scale battles going on across a colossal map. Ashes allows control groups to be designated as formal armies with the press of a hotkey, which will adopt and maintain a logical formation and act effectively as a single entity. This creates an interesting, ultimately rewarding learning curve. At the heart of these armies are the dreadnoughts, crawling across the map like oncoming glaciers of death. Having more dreadnoughts in a given region than your opponent almost guarantees strategic control of the surrounding area, but their slow speed and long build time means you'll need to consider where you'll want them a couple minutes from now. The side that's better at thinking several moves ahead will always have the advantage, and the armchair general in me was delighted by that realization. Commanders compete for resource nodes spread across the map, with only nodes connected by a chain to your base generating resources. That creates opportunities to crash an entire economy by surgically taking out a key node with a smaller, more agile force before a larger dreadnought-anchored army can respond. Options for rapid, reactive counters are few and have a high resource cost. My only other significant gripe is the bland environment art. Unadorned, repeating slopes of brown and green stand in contrast to the creativity and distinctiveness of the units. Adding more of this visual detail and personality to the maps themselves would have gone a long way. Once you break free from the speed and tactics-focused mindset of most RTSs, Ashes of the Singularity is a challenging cerebral exercise that has me mentally iterating on army compositions, build timings, and deployment schemes even when I'm not playing. Aside from a weak campaign, Oxide has delivered on the promise of bringing capital S strategy back to the RTS space. For more on Ashes of the Singularity, stick with IGN.